Hi, I'm Patrice from Palmer, Alaska, and I'd like to share today a lentil loaf recipe. I used to use a recipe that I found online, but I found that basically any grain works really well in this recipe, and any lentil. So we found that right now we're using the black beluga lentils. They're the small lentils, and they take about 20 to 25 minutes to cook. You have to bring them to a boil and then let them simmer. And I also added in some millet, which is the grain that we're using today. Sometimes we can use a rice. Any rice works that you might have left over from the night before. We've used red rice, black rice, just brown rice, and then of course wild rice works well too. So today I've already cooked up the lentils and the millet. So I'm going to add 2 cups of the lentils and millet into the bowl. And then I'm going to add in the oatmeal. I was a little bit short on oatmeal, so I added in some hemp hearts, which I also think would work well, but I've never done that before. But I think they're going to work out very well, and they'll have some additional omega-3 fatty acids for you. I'm also going to add in, this is a 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce. Careful to get vegan barbecue sauce, and then some low sodium vegetable broth. I'm going to add that in. And while I'm adding this in, I'm also going to grind up some flaxseed. That's something that we like to make sure we put into almost everything. And it just takes a second to put that in a coffee grinder and grind that up so that you can have that in your lentil loaf as well. And what's nice about that is if you put whole flax seeds in, you'll end up not getting the nutrients that you would get, that you need to get your omega-3s. I'm also going to add in some walnuts and just chop them up, not too fine, but chop them up so that they're not big pieces in your loaf. And we're going to add that in. So this is kind of a fun recipe because it really doesn't matter to be too specific on the ratios, but it basically is 2 cups of the lentils and the grain to 1 cup of oatmeal, and then you add in, this is about 3/4 of a cup of walnuts, and so you're going to mix this all together. And what's nice is that over the baking process you'll end up with a nice firm lentil loaf. So I've already oiled this little lentil loaf pan. I'm also going to add in some garlic powder. Actually, this is garlic granules. A little bit of dill weed. I would think this is going to be about 1/2 teaspoon. And then just a few shakes of paprika, just to give it a little bit of flavor. What's interesting about this particular recipe is that no matter how this mixture comes out, it ends up working out. And if you end up that you don't have enough fluid in there, you can add a little bit of vegetable broth on the very top of it as well, just because you want to make sure that there's enough fluid in there for the oatmeal to completely cook over the process of baking. So I'm going to just put this in the pan, and then we're also going to, I like to put a sprinkle of this balsamic glaze just on the very top, and then we're going to put it in the oven for, it's a 375 degree oven for about an hour. So I'm going to put this in the oven, and what I want to do is show you, this was the last lentil loaf that I had made, and so it comes out really nicely, and you can take it the next day for a lunch. You can put it over a salad or in a burrito, And it makes for a very nice dinner and then lunch afterwards. I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. Thank you for watching.